when I was a 19-year-old understudy, also where I'm from May's finals month. I have gone through one more late night in the grounds library until shutting time, which in May is 11 p.m. rather than 10 p.m. Since everybody's up late research, I needed to call a Uber to my off-grounds loft, since I had shown up with a companion who left hours before me, and I didn't have my vehicle with me. I was out in the library parking area. 11:30 when the Uber pulled up. It was an extraordinary Toyota Camry. The driver's name was Alex. He welcomed me as ordinary, and I sat in the rearward sitting arrangement corner to corner from him. He appeared to be in his mid-40s. For the initial 5 minutes of the ride there were no words traded between the two of us. However, at that point, he began to ask me inquiries. His first inquiry was if I was a understudy, which appeared to be rather futile. The question, since I was simply gotten from a school library. Next, he asked how my classes are going, and the way that old I was. I could have done without that question. I lied and said I was 23 rather than 19. Now I saw he would continually take a gander at me through the rearview reflect as he talked. What's more, when he would complete what he was saying, he had this unusual dreadful grin on his face. His inquiries were getting excessively individual for somebody whose sole relationship with me should be my driver for 10 to 15 minutes. He asked how my dating life at school is. Also, however much I needed to only absolutely disregard his inquiry. I said it wasn't terrible. I ought to have lied. Furthermore, said I had a sweetheart. However, for anything that reason I didn't consider saying that. He changed from inquiries to making remarks like that he used to be an enormous miscreant in school and inquired as to whether I of all time cheated. I apprehensively snickered and said once or 2 times. He then, at that point, made it much odder to no shock and inquired as to whether I'd at any point cheated on a beau. I expressed no. Now we were halted at a red light. I made an honest effort to try not to take a gander at back view reflex, yet I was excessively inquisitive. Furthermore, I snuck a look. He was taking a gander at me. He said something that I was exceptionally beautiful. I realized it was coming in the long run, and it still was unquestionably dreadful. I didn't recognize that there were 2 minutes left in the ride at the point when I saw he made a left turn rather than a right turn at one of the crossing points. So I shouted out and let him know he went the incorrect way. Then he said he knows he just needs to stop at his place, Genuine Speedy, to get something. I requested that he, if it's not too much trouble, simply drop me off first, yet he demanded his home was a minute away. What's more, obviously it was. He halted in front of the house and expressed we're here. Also, he went to me and inquired as to whether I needed to come and saying he had liquor, also food, if I needed to deliver some pressure. After examining, I didn't have the foggiest idea what to say. I needed to escape the vehicle and run. However, I was frightened. I said if it's not too much trouble, simply bring me back home. He laughed and said he'd be right back. He went into his home. Also, that was the point at which I got out of the vehicle. They also began to run. No, I didn't think he had plans to kill me. However, something was wrong with him, the circumstance, and I simply needed to get out of there. Minutes after the fact, I felt my telephone vibrate. It was a message from Alex, the driver, saying, "You realize I have your address, hot stuff." That just made me run significantly quicker. I dropped the ride to make sure he wouldn't have the option to get in touch with me any longer. I returned to my loft in a couple minutes. Running with my rucksack was hard, yet thank God I hit the treadmill. My loft was the left half of a duplex that Alex fella wasn't stopped in front of my home when I got back, so I trusted perhaps he just wouldn't come. I finished up a structure on Uber.com named "Reported Genuine Incident with a Driver," and I just gave all subtleties of the outing and incorporated a screen capture of his message, compromising that he had my location. Uber reached me the following day, expressing the driver was eliminated from the stage, and should there be any further contact, that I ought to contact the specialists. Well, the following night, when my flatmate wasn't home since she was spending a night with the person she was conversing with, there was a thump at the front entryway, followed by the doorbell. It was like 8 to 9 p.m., so it was sort of late for specialists or anything like that. I called through the entryway. "Who is it?" The man's voice on the opposite side said, "I observed something that has a place with you." I asked, "Who is this and what did you observe?" Their reaction was simply, "Open up, I'll show you." The voice was natural. I glanced through the window close to the entryway. What's more, I saw Alex the Uber driver stowing away to the side of the entryway like he was squeezed, level in a difficult spot. What's more, he was holding something I proved unable, determined when I ran for my telephone to call the police and saving to them every one of the subtleties. I just asked for police to get to my loft right away, be that as it may. When police showed up in front of the duplex, the thumbs had since a long time ago halted. He was gone off the entryway patio. In any case, I envision he saw the squad cars in front of the house. Since he never returned after that, there was this entire circling back to the Uber report and the police now. However, since there was no evidence that it was Alex at the front entryway, I was unable to even press charges. The semester was over. In any case, the rent was up and I moved back home for summer. I left no follow for that iota fellow to at any point find me once more. I don't figure I did.